Hello everybody, my name is Kazm Vulfhart, aka King Kazm, whatever you want to call me, and welcome back to Pokemon Violet Bug Type Gym Leader Run, and we're gonna help... I forget what we do to help her. We'll find out! Did you light the water on fire? So this falls back on Sugawaro from the last episode. I don't think there's anything wrong with admitting that you're trying to get practice in something. A little bit of story about me. I didn't get my license until I was about 22-ish, 23-ish. And that was just because it became a necessity for me to do so because of where my schooling and... I'm a college dropout, I should go ahead and admit that. I mean, I'm not really. I have a degree. It's in general studies. I kind of got screwed over in community college. Then I went to a focus college to try and be a vet tech. I dropped out of that because of reasons. I mean, honestly, I probably would eat that, but definitely would add veggies to it, like lettuce. Makes sense. But I was kind of ashamed to admit that I didn't have a car. Well, I wasn't really ashamed. A lot of stuff I'm not ashamed to admit that would embarrass people. Like, the only time I'm ever ashamed to admit it is the location of where I'm admitting it. Like, if I'm admitting it in private, it's not really that embarrassing. But if I'm in, like, a public place, it's kind of awkward to admit some of the stuff. Just because I don't feel it's appropriate. An example, well, obviously, example is the driving, cooking. I don't really know how to do my taxes all that well. There's other stuff too, but I'm not going to get into it here. But, like, I didn't get my license until I was about 22, 23 because of the fact that, of the necessity out of it. But before that, there wasn't a necessity out of it. So that's why I never really got it. But I know that some people get embarrassed because, oh, all my friends are driving, all my friends are trying to... Smells like a hospital. That probably is not a good thing, if I'm being honest. Okay, I know essential oils are bad for pets, but what are they like for Pokemon? ADHD moment. But I know, like, there's that pressure... I know the pressure is common, too, in a lot of things. There's a pressure... So, like, there's a pressure for... in some friend groups for certain women to get married at a certain age. That's become less common nowadays, but I know when I was in my... like, in the 90s and stuff like that, that was a common thing to hear about. As a child, I really didn't get it, but I do vaguely remember it in some cases. Oh, high school. Oh, why didn't I think about high school? High school is a good example. There's pressure to get your driver's license. There's pressure to fit in with the cool kids and stuff like that. There's pressure to have a boyfriend/girlfriend because that's what everybody's doing. And if you don't fit in, you basically are thrown to the beasts. Because, let's face it, every single high school student, for the most part, is an absolute animal. I had a bad experience. But I don't think it's a shame to admit that you're behind on something or you're training to be good at something. Like, I'm personally... a big... I watch a lot of food videos, like food making videos, because I want to learn how to cook better. I just don't really... I've already explained this before, but I'll explain it again. I don't have money to get ingredients to do it. I mean, I do have money, but I'm like, at budgeting, like, that's a whole other thing. That's a whole other story. I'm budgeting money. I'm trying to budget money, and I don't really have money to budget, for food. For food, ingredients, I should say. And, my dad does a pretty good job of cooking on his own anyways. So, he gives me opportunities to cook, when I ask for it. So I'm grateful for that. But I try not to break his wallet, and I try not to break mine by getting ingredients, trying something, and worrying about it going badly. But overall, it's something I do want to learn in the future, and once I get more, like, financial stability behind it. I'm sure you two are very close, and I adore that. I adore the reckless jock and, like, caring, nurse, personalities. Although I will say she probably should take better care of her body if she keeps on getting injured like that. Then again, it's the Pokemon world. But you have people who train against their Pokemon. They shouldn't be alive after that. I saw you were on my map, so I came to say hi. But, yeah, it's... There's nothing to be ashamed of for admitting that you're working on something. Oh, well, that's sweet of you. Is it wrong to say I kind of ship them now? I think they would make a cute couple, but I wouldn't force it upon them. But if you want to learn programming and your family's not big with computers, I don't think there's anything wrong with you saying, I'm going to learn how to operate computers. If your family has a rich history of being shoemakers or something like that, I don't think there's anything wrong with saying you're going to be a musician. In all honesty, I'm going to be honest here. I have nothing against family-run businesses. Really, I don't. The issue I have with it is when it becomes only family-run businesses. And the reason for that actually falls back to the hassle conversation we had in the last episode. Sorry, I need to take another drink. When I talk a lot, I get thirsty. I see now why people drink water constantly for these channels, for YouTube and stuff like that. Drink. But talking to time now, yay! But, like, going back to... I just now realized this. Okay, so I knew about this. I didn't realize it. Every single one of the trainers, like the gym trainers and stuff like that, who have a type focus, they have a hairstyle or something on them that pertains usually to the type that they're trained with. Except for Blaine, who has no hair whatsoever. But, like, their attire, something about them is very that type. Her type has a stepped rock brick type style to it. And now I'm questioning how much hair gel does she use to get it that way. I just got here. Oh, I know what her issue is. Yeah, actually, no, this one makes sense, and you'll see why in a bit. That's pretty much what it is. But, I'll touch upon this in a slight second. So, I want to finish the first thought first. And then I'll try and remember to talk about this. So, the issue with... pardon me. The issue with family-run businesses... it would probably be up there, if anything. The issue with family-run businesses comes from when they refuse to hire outside. Now, I understand that there's like traditions and stuff like that between all the families, like all the generations and stuff like that. That's understandable. I have nothing wrong with that. The issue becomes when somebody in the generation doesn't want to be a part of it. Then they basically end up getting ostracized, and that's just not okay. There are reasons to ostracize a person. I've actually talked about it in the past. Usually it has to do with like being an abuser or being a serial no-toucher. Bad toucher. Bad toucher is actually the proper terminology I should use. The YouTube safe terminology is the is if they're an uncle/aunt bad touch. God, I hate how YouTube operates right now. Just let us say those words. Like literally, let us say those words. If you censor it, it's not okay, because then you're just basically making it easier for those people to get away with it. I gotta stop hitting doors. This door, damn. But in general, and like, you shouldn't ostracize somebody because, in a family of shoemakers, they want to be a musician. That's not okay. It's yes, and I am talking about Coco. That movie I actually like. But once again, I'm not a big fan of the way the generational trauma was done. Because, for those that don't know, with Coco, the great great-great-grandfather was killed, spoilers by the way, killed by his friend, but he was on his way to go home to his kid and wife. They didn't know that he was killed. They thought he abandoned them. And so they banned music, or the wife of the dead guy banned music from the family forever. The daughter of them, who in the movie was a great-grandmother with sadly suffering from dementia and stuff like that, she was losing her memories. She actually enjoyed the music, and she tried her best to keep it in the family as best as possible. Well, she tried to keep her father's notes and stuff as best as possible. And she did a pretty damn good job of it, to be honest. But the grandmother of the main character also adopted the great-grandmother's hatred of music, to the point where she would destroy her grandson's musical instruments because, oh, it's music. I hate it. It doesn't belong. Like, it's once again a case of, like, obviously generational trauma, which is not technically a bad thing to talk about. But it's dumb to me that they would go to that length to get rid of it. Because all you're at that point, you aren't protecting your family as much as you think you are. You're just hurting them more. And it's not a case of, you'll thank me in the end. It's a case of, like, no, your personal preferences are definitely getting in the way of these decisions. But going to a new, more uplifting topic. I always look to my left-ish, like forward and left, when I talk about this. When I, like, do a subject change. You're hiding, aren't you? I'll touch on the topic I want to touch on in a minute. Time, you weren't alone. You have literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's a child back there. 12 people in here with you. You would not be able to be cornered. If they thought you were in danger, I'm willing to bet that at least 4 of these Pokemon would kill them. Not kill them, but hurt them at least. Oh, wait, no. Did I say 12, 13 people? But... So here's the thing. Something you should be understanding of as a student or wanting to learn anything. You should not be afraid to ask your... I just now realized how many Gengars are on this battlefield. That is terrifying. You should not be afraid to ask questions. Go ahead, ask your questions. If a teacher is there to help you. Why are we doing an ambush? Just talk to... Well, no, because... Okay, so this actually does pertain to something else I want to talk about. So... So... I recently read a story on Tumblr. And the story basically told about how somebody came into the store and asked for a person to see if they were in the store right now, and to ask if when they would be in at another time. Your response at that point, if you're an employee and a customer asks you that stuff, is to say no. You don't have to tell them shit, basically. The reason being is because, number one, it's federal law to not do that. Or federal law to do that, I should say. So, like, say if a grown-ass man comes in, you're working at Taco Bell or something, and they say, "Is Tammy here? When is her schedule? I'm her dad. I want to see her." No. Don't do that. That's bad. That's not good. The reason being is because that person could be a stalker, could be an abuser, could be somebody who just genuinely does not have a good intentions. And you might think you are having good intentions. By the way, if you've been reading what she's saying about how she feels nostalgic about being a gym leader, but focusing on being a teacher, that makes sense a lot of the time. And it's honestly one of the redeeming qualities for her. For me. Redeeming qualities of hers with me. Or for me, I guess. For me would work too. But you shouldn't ever reveal a person's personal information if you can help it to somebody you don't know. If the person was introduced as... So, like, there is like, it's still illegal. Don't get me wrong, it's still illegal. But there is instances where it's not as bad as you would think. A big instance would be for me. I sometimes take my dad to my hangout spots, to like show him where I go and stuff like that. That way he knows where I am in case something happens. That's what I do with him, and I introduce him to the people there as he's my dad. if somebody does that, like if an employee does that to their work and says, this is my father, this is what he looks like, and that same person comes in and is asking, it technically is kind of okay, but there are limits to that as well, for the simple fact that, like, you don't know if there was a falling out in the family. It's all very iffy, and it's not exactly a judge by what you know basis. You should always have the mentality of, no, I'm not going to tell you this information because I don't know you well enough, or no, I'm not going to tell you this information because, well, I don't know. That's literally it. I don't know the information, or you can't tell the information because you don't know. You should have that mentality until proven otherwise. And it's just honestly it's for your safety, it's for the company's safety, and it's for the safety of that employee especially. There are some really messed up stories about people who didn't listen to this kind of advice, and the person, like the victim involved, ended up getting like battered to hell and back and almost dying. Like, yes, it does get that bad. And you should always err on the side of caution. Even if you don't like the person, err on the side of caution, be the bigger person. They don't owe, like, you don't owe it to them to do that stuff. But at the end of the day, you will feel, unless you're like a heartless person, you will probably end up feeling guilty for the damage that you helped cause. And it will eat away at you and just make your life a little bit miserable. I'm not saying that's true for everybody. And I'm not saying that some people don't deserve that. I know that there are some people out there that do kind of deserve that treatment, but it's better to err on the side of being a better person than it is to err on the side of being a petty person. And that's coming from a petty person. I am a petty person. I've been trying not to be lately as I get older and see things from different lights and stuff like that. Pick up the item. Pick up the item. There we go. I'll do it in video games, though, for hell. I will definitely do it in video games just because. Zero repercussions, baby. Zero real-world repercussions, let me put it that way. No! Giraffe Freak, why? You stupid palindrome, leave me alone. But I'll just leave the item be. As much as I understand the want to be a petty person, at the end of the day, it is a waste of your energy and it is a waste of your time. Even if you don't feel like it, eventually you will feel like it. Usually. Some people are just hardwired to be petty assholes and don't grow up at all. They are usually the ones that peaked in high school. I didn't peak in high school. That's why I'm not petty 100% of the time. I'm still an asshole, though. But the world does need more good people. It does need more people who try their best for other people and try to, like, spread the love and the joy and stuff like that. That is a necessity in this world that we need anymore. So even if the coworker you're working with is, like, a lazy piece of shit who doesn't really help out the team, keep your mouth shut. If not for them, but them for yourself, because run your pockets. At the end of the day, I really need to disable the notifications. I have no problem with my friends playing their games, but, like, I'm more worried about their safety, to be honest. Not right now, because I'm not big enough to where it could be a problem. But I am worried that maybe in the future somebody will get... Like, that's always a big concern for me. Like, it's not something to completely prevent me from doing what I'm doing. But it is a concern that I keep track of. Like, I worry about my friends' safety and the people I play with, because I don't want them getting hurt just because I did something that somebody disagreed with. Like, if you have a grievance with me, then go after me. I guarantee you it will not end well for you, but you can do it. But don't be a coward or a bitch and target, like, my friends who had really nothing to do with it. It's not worth... Like, it goes back to the, like, being a decent person in general. It's not worth whatever you are risking at that point. I was trying to turn and the game just didn't let me. It steamrolled me into fighting this fortress. Like, genuinely speaking, I genuinely wish that there are times... Okay, so I have at least 2. Well, obviously I have at least 2. I just picked up 2, but I could have 3, is what I'm saying. I'll pick up a steak and come back and see what happens. This one might be less of an... Wait, is this the Ice Scourge? Ground Blight. It's Ground Blight. So this one I actually don't really have much of an issue with. The only other one I'm going to have an issue with is the freaking ice one. But I know I keep talking about it. It's just, I can't stress enough how important it should be for everybody to just stop being horrible dicks to each other. Because the way I'm looking at the world right now, I don't really see a problem with somebody being like a trolly dick to their friends. Like, you're fucking with them, but it's in a good-hearted way. They understand that's in a good-hearted way. You're not a threat to them. They're not a threat to you. You're just all having a good time. That's all it is. You're all having a good... That's why I like Schmitty's group. I don't like all of them. Like, I genuinely have issues with the way Grizzy behaves, but, like, that's just me. I don't really like how Puffer behaves sometimes either, but, like, they're individuals. I'm not going to full-on hate them for it. I'm not going to like them. But, like, I'll watch the videos which, that they're in, I'll watch Smitty's videos that they're in. I got no problem watching the videos that they're in. Because usually it just ends up being funny, because they're just messing with each other. They like messing with each other. They're fun. They're friends. It's what they do. Do they say some off-the-wall shit? Yes. Is some of the shit kind of not okay? Yes. But, like, at the end of the day, they're not trying to hurt anybody. They're trying to just have fun and be idiots. And yes, I firmly believe that some of them are trying to be idiots. Not because of a persona, but because they think that's more fun. And I think we need more... I think we genuinely need more people like that. We need more people who are just having fun to have fun. I think at the end of the day, we shouldn't be getting so upset about words that are said. I don't think we should be getting irritated so often that we do. I'm not saying being irritated is something we should avoid 100%, because, let's face it, that's an impossibility. We're humans. It's not going to get to that point. Unless we, like, shut down human emotion. Which ain't going to happen, because I guarantee you there's at least one person on this video that's going to try and stop that, and that's me. But, like, I don't think... being the kind of troll dickishness that, like, Schmitty and them bring to the table is a bad thing. I think the same thing for, like, Sayu and them are pretty, actually, good about it. Joel is actually probably a better example. Joel is, done with everybody's shit, basically, is what it is. There it is. Okay, I want to see how many things I got left. Like, Joel of the group of, like, the friend group of Monarch and... Well, you all probably know her as Amelie, but... Well, you might all know her as Monarch. But Monarch and Sayu torment the shit out of Joel. But at the end of the day, he still hangs out with them. I didn't go there. Why didn't I go there? I'm an idiot. Oh well, time to travel back. Like, I have no... Like, they're idiots, and they're... Like, Joel's a dick to them. 100% Joel's a dick to them. But they still want to be... They still want to hang out with him. They still want to be his friend, and I'm cool with that. That's cool to me, and that's... great. Look, I think we need more interactions like that. And I think we need more... I think we need interactions between strangers like that, too, to be honest. Where I can go out on the street, look at a person and be like, hey, you're ugly. And he looks at me and is like, yeah, I know. You're ugly too. And then we just laugh. Although if anybody tried to do that with me IRL, I'd probably be like, well, you're a dick. I'm not interacting with you. But I feel like ideally a world where we're less offended by the stuff we hear, and we just take it with a grain of salt, the better everyone will be in the long run. I am happy to kind of see that, like, everything is calming down. Back in, like, 2020, what was it, like, 2016 to 2024? Oh, I mean, this year, I guess. But 2016 to, like, I want to say 20... Yeah, you know what? I'll just say 2020. Those 4 years, it was just so stupid. Like, too many people were getting canceled for some of the dumbest shit ever, just because they said shit that other people didn't agree with. Like, that was just not cool and completely dumb, and okay, so I'm at 4. Can I fly here now? So I have 4 more stakes to come back to. Okay, good. I can fly here. Good. That's good. Yeah, like, too many people were getting canceled for some of the dumbest reasons. And I think it's just... I think it's just stupid. I think at the end of the day, we just need to get over ourselves, get over our egos, and just admit that we're all stupid humans on this planet trying to survive and not understand how we're doing it at all. We are all playing Dark Souls, and some of us are just really bad at it. That's all that's all it is. Dark Souls is life, kicks us in the balls 24/7, and just says, fuck you. Or I could compare it to League PvP. Nah, life's not that toxic. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. Anyways, I think I've rambled on long enough. I'm going to call it here. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. That way you see more content like this in the future. And if you can share this video with your friends, your family, your favorite group of awesome school teachers, I'd appreciate that as well. Excuse me a second, I gotta say. Pardon me. And as always, I'll see you as we continue our adventures in This is not Legend of Zelda, this is Pokemon Violet, the Bug-type Gym Leader run. Bye-bye!